They want you to know that they care about the children. They're going to remind you as often as possible that everything they do for the kids.
If you work hard, you can do better and pass on even greater opportunities for your children.
The people must be able to decide our country's future, to determine your future, the future of your children.
It was about the children, the children, the children, the children.
But in practice, the children are just props in their quest for more control, more power for bureaucrats and less for parents. So when girls were raped in 2 separate schools in Northern Virginia within months of each other, liberal school administrators did their best to cover it up. And when a father of one of the victims came to a school board meeting to voice concerns about safety at that Loudoun County high school, they arrested him. It was absolutely disgusting. I can't believe it's America. The father appeared on the angle to describe the Orwellian experience.
My daughter was sexually assaulted at the end of school in May of last year, and I went to the school board meeting, to see what was going on. I tried to tell the lady what had happened to my daughter, and she looked me dead in the face and said, "That's not what happened." Started in on me again and threatened my family business, my livelihood. Next thing I know, I'm tackled to the ground. I'm just shocked and horrified.
We all were horrified, and as a parent, I found this story to be extremely upsetting. Both the crime that was committed against this young woman and the effort to vilify the family of the young woman, the female victim. And it seems to get worse every day. Former President Obama rolled into Richmond, Virginia over the weekend to stump for Terry McAuliffe, he's running for governor again, and made the mistake of dismissing concern about the Loudoun County crimes.
We don't have time to be wasting on these phony, trumped-up culture wars, this fake outrage that right-wing media peddles to juice their ratings. That's not what you need, Virginia. Instead of forcing our communities to cut back at a time when we're just starting to recover, we should be doing more to support people who are educating our kids and keeping our neighborhoods safe.
Neighborhoods safe, Barack? The Democrats can't even keep their school restrooms safe because they're far more worried about the political repercussions than the health and safety of the students in this saga. And that goes double for the media goon squad. Now, I'm young enough to remember that when liberal journalists over at the Washington Post used to believe that it was reprehensible for a defendant to use the victim's sexual history to impeach her credibility. Well, that's exactly what happened in this case. The girl apparently admitted in court that she previously had had a consensual relationship with her attacker and that they even had agreed to meet in the bathroom where the attack occurred. Washington Post reporter Justin Juvenile, should be Juvenile, while not mentioning the name of the victim or her attacker, published these details. He then followed it up with a tweet, clearly trying to throw shade on the judge's decision. The chief judge in juvenile court, who heard all the evidence in the case, decided that the accused male teenager who wore a skirt did commit the sexual assault. But it seems the reporter wasn't happy with that. Now, my question is, where are all the women who've stood up for professed victims in the past? Well, let's remember their words.
How many women and men are there across this country who are being harassed and they have no recourse and no voice? That has got to stop.
This is exactly why women don't feel comfortable coming forward and telling their stories.
We have to create a safe space for women to be able to come forward.
The Washington Post used to believe also that no means no. But now, who wants women, especially concerned mothers, to shut up and go away? The very Democrats who claim to be the Me Too defenders. Now, even kids are realizing that their schools are a mess. Students at multiple area high schools participated in walkouts today to protest for safer schools after the Loudoun County School Board officials originally denied that these attacks ever had occurred. Now, parents are justifiably fed up. The latest non-fake outrage involves Loudoun County's requirement that parents must sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, to view part of its new race and equity curriculum. Now, as part of the school's broader equity agenda, the district spent approximately $7,700 to become a licensed user of something called Second Step programs, a branch of the left-leaning nonprofit organization Committee for Children. According to a copy of the NDA-style form, eligible parents at the LCPS must sign the document to view the Second Step curriculum. All the board members who are, by the way, attacking parental rights, in this case, making them sign some agreement that they're not going to talk about it, have to be defeated. All of them have to be thrown out on their you-know-whats next go-around. The campaign against parental involvement in schools is being led, not surprisingly, by left-wing activists like Jack Schneider and Jennifer Berkshire. Writing in the Washington Post, parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't. To turn over all decisions to parents would risk inhibiting the ability of young people to think independently. Oh, that's lovely. Well, naturally, Randy Weingarten, the odious head of the American Federation of Teachers, loved this anti-parent take, tweeting, "Great piece on parents' rights in public schools." Ha! That's funny, because by parents' rights, she means the right to step aside and let the experts control it all. Who on earth would tolerate disrespect? Parents, you're paying the bills here. Why accept the abuse? And by the way, this will only make matters worse in schools where parents have started their own walkouts that are permanent. Loudoun County is growing in population, but its school enrollment is dropping, meaning the schools are losing state funding. Good. And the uber-rich and ultra-liberal Fairfax County public schools, right outside of D.C., are also seeing trouble on the horizon. All of last year, we warned them that if they kept their schools closed for in-person learning while dumbing down their curriculum with anti-racism and equity, parents would start pulling their kids out. And that's exactly what's happened. The district is still down 10,000 students from their pre-pandemic levels. Now, what happened? Well, they moved their children to private or parochial schools. Others opted for homeschooling. Others went to areas of the country where schools were operating in person. And yet school leaders, according to this piece, acknowledge that when it comes to students who had been in classrooms pre-pandemic, they say they have no idea where they've gone. Well, they haven't been disappeared by a magician, my goodness. And these people who don't know where the kids have gone are in charge of your kids' education. This is absolutely terrifying. But don't worry. Their priorities include paring back on AP courses and mandating that athletes get the vaccination. Parents are not just walking out on these radical school administrators. They want to throw them all out.
Our schools are too important. Our kids are too important. We can't sit back and just assume that everybody else is going to take care of this. We have phenomenal teachers, but it's the leadership. I haven't heard McAuliffe say, hey, I'm going to go and investigate what's happening in the schools, but I did hear Youngkin say that, so why don't we give him a shot?
How did you feel about him saying, the former governor saying, parents shouldn't be involved?
My head honestly was about to explode when I heard that. I thought, are you kidding me?
And this week, Glenn Youngkin dropped an ad reminding everyone that McAuliffe has had a long history of fighting parental rights in education. He vetoed a bill when he was governor the first time back in 2016 that would have given students the right to opt out of assignments containing sexually explicit content.
It was bipartisan. It gave parents a say, the option to choose an alternative for my children. But then Governor Terry McAuliffe vetoed it twice. He doesn't think parents should have a say. He said that. He shut us out.
That's a devastating ad. These are not phony culture wars. They're not phony culture warriors. This is about who has the final say over the present and future of our kids' education. This is about whom you trust to keep your children safe when at school. Woke activists who are masquerading as teachers or administrators obviously can't be trusted. They have other priorities. The walkouts we saw today in Virginia are only the beginning. The Democratic Party is about to experience what a political walkout across America feels like. And that's the angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.